Hi, everyone. I'm Hilary Topper, and you're listening to Hilary Topper on Air. Today, I'm super excited to welcome two incredible guests. First, we have John Voss, who is the executive director of the Mackinac. Oh my God, you got to help me out here.
Mackinac, Mackinac.
Mackinac,
Mackinac.
Mackinac. Okay. Today, I'm excited to welcome two incredible guests. First, we have John Voss, who is the executive director of the Mackinac Island Swim, a unique event that brings people together for fitness and fun while supporting an important cause. Joining John is Angie Morthland. She's the co-president of the Mackinac Women's Club, the nonprofit organization benefiting from the swim. We're going to talk to them about the swim, about the women's club, and about how this collaboration is making a difference. So I'm going to start with you, John. Welcome to the show.
Well,
Can
thank
you
you. I'm happy to be here.
can you start by telling us about the swim? What inspired you to create it, and how long has it been going?
So this will be the fifth year of the Mackinac Island Swim. Um, it is a 8.2 mile swim around Mackinac Island, which is in the Mackinac Straits, right between the Upper and Lower Peninsula of Michigan. Um, and how this kind of got started is I've always been a swimmer. I love open water swimming, especially a lot more than lap swimming nowadays. But um, during the pandemic in 2020, there was the Mackinac Bridge swim, which was scheduled in August at that time, and that got canceled. And a lot of people still had plans that they were, gonna go up and travel and to Mackinac Island, which a lot of Michiganders do. And uh, since that swim was canceled, another swimmer friend of mine had said, "Hey, let's go up there and just let's swim across the straits ourselves." And I was like, I don't know if that's a great idea. There's freighters that go through there. I don't really want to get run over. So, so I said, why don't we just go over to Mackinac Island, um, do the tourist thing, but let's hop in the water and let's swim around it. It's 8 miles, so it's a little bit longer than what the bridge swim is, which is 4 miles. But it's such a unique area. There's a path that goes around the island. So I was like, if we can't make it, we'll just hop out and walk back to town. So uh, we met someone when we decided to do that lives on the island, and he was really kind of the one that pushed us to turn this into an event, and that's kind of how it all really got started.
So, walk us through the event itself. What can participants expect? Um, and what makes it unique as opposed to other swims around the country?
Um, well, kind of like I said, like I said before, the one of the really big uniqueness, one of the big factors there is that um, the island itself has a bike path around it, and Mackinac Island does not allow any cars, vehicles on the island. It's all bikes and horses. Um, so that draws a lot of tourists there, anyways, to begin with. But the what I love about it is just the beauty of the area, the clarity of the water. It's if you fly over the Mackinac Straits, uh, it looks like Caribbean blues, right? So you get those nice Caribbean blues, but it's fresh water, so there's no sharks, right? So that's what draws a lot of swimmers to the area, um, especially those that are used to swimming in the ocean, and they're afraid of all those creatures, right? Uh, so that fresh water, that just the beauty of the area is really a big draw.
That's awesome. So talk to us about how you decided to work with the Mackinac Women's Club as a beneficiary of this swim.
Um, so mainly when we decided to do this event. So I don't actually live up there. I live in Michigan, but it's 3 or 4 hours south of Mackinac, and you get a lot of transplants in that area, right? A lot of people that come from down here and work up there, stuff like that. And we thought, if we're gonna start this event, why don't we, make a fundraiser, do something charitable, and first thing we did was just start Googling like what nonprofits are up there. Who can we work with? And through email, I think is how this happened. We got a hold of Angie and started talking to her. Came up and met her, and she's become a great friend, and uh, just all the things that the women's club does for the area and the community up there really kind of made us, hey, let's work with these ladies. These ladies are awesome. They're going to help out the community. I think this is a great nonprofit to work with. That's kind of how it all
Great.
got started.
Thank you for sharing that. Hi, Angie. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Hilary.
So, can you share with us a bit about the Women's Club and its mission? And you were telling me that it started in 1914.
Right. Well, our women's club is one of the oldest women's club in the area. 1914, it started in just people's homes, and their goals were literacy, beautification, and then it came to just the betterment of Mackinac, and it encompassed the whole area. We don't just take care of Mackinac City. So we built a library, and then we had another library, and so we're trying to keep our community and those who visit us uh, available to have things such as scholarships for schools, scholarship for needs for women needs. We help women's resource centers. We basically adopt people in nursing homes and try to help them out. So our whole goal, besides being a wonderful group of ladies who bake amazing cookies, because that was one of the lures for the swimmers, because at the end you get these cookies from the swim. You ring the bell, you grab these cookies, and we have ladies that are 90 years old baking cookies, feeling a part of this amazing swim. And I'm a swimmer as well. And how I met John is I actually volunteered to help the Mackinac Bridge swim, and that's how it started connecting. They realized, hey, she likes swimming. We like swimming. She knows all the people in the area. Let's work together. So it was wonderful. So we have a cadre of about 40 members that to get all of them involved is great. Not every project gets to do that. So we truly have about 15 big things that we help with. We give local scholarships to all the other nonprofits. So we help the whole area, all the way to Carp Lake, Levering, St. Ignace, all the way up to the Sioux. So we support as many places as we can.
That's really awesome. Thank you. So, back to you, John, about the swim. I have heard about the swim for several years now. People talk about it. They talk about it online. Um, so can you share with us uh, some stories about the swim? Maybe somebody returning back to swimming or whatever. I'm sure
Um,
you
I,
have a million stories.
We
yeah,
have a lot.
yeah, and I'm sure Angie has a few to share with you. This swim, it really started as uh, a challenge, right? And it wasn't about competition, and I think that's where most of our stories come from. Is um, we had like a father daughter come out and swim it together. We've had families that bring their young swimmers. I think we have an 11-year-old that swam this with her mom, and her dad was in the kayak, and then her older sister was there. We get um, we had a man that was a double amputee that came out the first year we did this. We have a group, they call themselves the Chubby Mermaids. They have been doing this since the very first year we did this. They're not so chubby anymore, but they love to go by that tagline. Um, just a lot of just inspiring stories that I hear even afterwards. Uh, it's always nice to hear what brings people to the event and gets them to train. And a lot of the heartwarming stories aren't actually from people swimming around the island. It's from all the training they do and all the people they meet, leading up to it.
Absolutely. Angie, do you have any special stories that you would like to share?
Yeah, well, I can tell you the nicest thing is that we've become a family. It's like a swim family. We all support each other. We've had cancer survivors. We have swimmers that swim in honor of someone from their lives. We have people that if you need something, it's always oh, so and so has this, and it just goes wonderfully. It ripples basically as a swim. So for us, the women's club, the first time you figure all these ladies in their 70s and 80s and 90s are going, what are we doing to help these swimmers? We have no idea. Now these ladies are there at the package pickup greeting them. They're like the grandmas of the group and they're wonderful. So, we get hugs. We have a local gal who was a marathon runner and she decided to try it and join the women's club. She's from Mackinac and she swam it and loved it and felt like a part of it. Our local bakery, we like to do this as an event, not so much a race. And so we have, they donate pies. So we give them to people who have these great stories as the humble pie, which means you raised all this money and you still swam and you are just so humble about it. You're not giving any credit to yourself. You give it to everyone else. So I just think it's the connections that people come back and they hug everybody and they're a part of it and they're just happy to be there and they know if something happens, they're supported.
I love that. So, John, back to you. So, with the event, it's an 8.2-mile swim.
Yep.
You said it's not competitive. Can you explain what that means?
Um, I guess what that means is, uh, 8.2 miles is a long way, and it's a challenge, and we try to promote it as such. Like it is just the challenge. Like completing 8.2 miles should be enough, right? We don't need to award people for coming in first and second and doing all the age group stuff like you see at a lot of these other things. It's really just about that challenge, and um, sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Yeah, so it's really about the challenge of just completing that and not what we do is we have a timing system set up to make sure that everybody gets in and out of the
Right.
water. Um, but I find that when we go to these events that have the times, people get so motivated or not motivated, but they get so worked up about what their time is, how long it's taking them, where did I place compared to everybody else? And
And will
comparisons
I get cut off, right?
right. And comparisons the thief of joy, right? So we try to just eliminate that and say, we have the timing system here. We allow you guys, we'll give you your time if you need to, submit it to like the Marathon Swimming Society or something like that. But we are not going to advertise these times, and we're not going to say this is who won and whatnot. It's really about that challenge, and I think when you have people that uh, are in an event like this and they don't have to think about that time, it brings more of a camaraderie, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, on the website, it specifically says that you need to wear a wetsuit. Can you talk a little bit about that and also about, does everybody need a kayaker or just certain people or
Yeah, so we originally set up the wetsuit thing as a safety protocol, uh, in conjunction with the U.S. Coast Guard in the permitting process there. We thought that because of the water temperature in the Mackinac Straits, it fluctuates a lot. So it might be 70 degrees on Monday night, and you might hop in on Tuesday morning, and it could be 50. So um, we make that call about the wetsuits based on like we just don't know what the water temperature is going to be, and uh, planning for it to be warm and not have it warm and people show up without wetsuits is it's going to be dangerous. So what we do with that is we make it you have to wear the wetsuit unless you have a kayaker with you, just so you have that extra safety measure of someone noticing if something's going wrong with you, if you're getting too cold, if you're going through those signs of hypothermia, you're acting a little confused, that kind of thing. And then we also this year we've kind of made it so like if you don't want to have that kayaker but you really want to do it without a wetsuit, we're just going to make sure that they have a safety team with them, because like I said, it is unique, and we do have that bike path around the island, and you'll have someone watching you the entire way. You can bring your friends and family, they can just walk around the island the entire time, and that's actually a big draw for this event too, is not necessarily for the swimmer but for the spectator.
Oh, that's really good to know. I lost my train of thought. Okay. I'm gonna go back to you, Angie. So, um, why do you think events like this are important for small nonprofits like yours?
I think we're excited because this helps us bring awareness not just to Mackinac City, but to all the people who come into our city and then go to the island. They also not only look at us and see all the great stuff we do, then in turn, when they go home, also do the same thing. They find out if there's a women's club doing this or other clubs that might be literacy related like we are. And and they'll help with that. So it seems to be, again, I hate to go back to the ripple effect, but this whole swim truly, these swimmers swim the 8.2 miles or around. The nice thing about it is it's shallow enough they can stop and wave to their family or their kayaker and come out and get some bandages or whatever if they've cut themselves on a rock or whatever. But they're amazingly, they'll come out back in. It's a dedication to the event. They want to compete against themselves, and it's an accomplishment. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I really did this, or boy, those waves are tough this year, and hopefully next year there won't be, and I won't have to fight as much. So they talk themselves through this. So the reason why it helps us is we're supporting that gift of self. They're giving themselves to the race, but they're giving financially to the area of which they're swimming, and it also helps other women see that they can do things, challenge themselves and go out on a limb, and not just women, kids and adults as well. But John had mentioned families. We love supporting the family. The mom, the dad, the daughter might be in the water, or a whole relay. The family might be a relay. And so we love supporting because they want to be able to be a part of it all the way around the 8.2 trek. And it's more than a bike path. It's wide enough for a horse-drawn carriage. So
Wow.
it's actually a state highway for the island, and it's wide enough. It's not very narrow. It's a really neat one. So people can ride their bikes. They can walk. They can take a carriage ride all the way around. It's a good thing to help see what everybody supports, not only for us, but they go back and give to others.
Let me ask you something, Angie. Have you done this swim?
No, I have not been able to because I'm one of the coordinators. But have I done part of it? Yes, I've been in the water. Yes, I swam. But everybody says, you want to swim? I said, I'd be great, but then who's going to pick up what I do? And everybody goes, nope, we need to keep you. John says that. We need to keep Angie here. So, but I have swam around the water, not the full 8.2, but probably about 2 miles.
Yeah, yeah. Very good. And John, talk to us a little bit. Some people may be nervous about safety. Can you talk a little bit about how you make sure that everybody stays safe in the water?
Sure, sure. So We have, like I said earlier, we do have the Coast Guard out there. So they're kind of like the first line there. And we have a group of paramedics that come out. We have one of those paramedics will be on a boat. We have typically 5 or 6 boats that are out there, and maybe a jet ski as well, kind of patrolling the area. And then the other paramedics, uh, they're roaming along the shore. And then with that, we also have upwards of 20 to 25 lifeguards that are made up of lifeguards walking along the shoreline, lifeguards in kayaks, and then we always have either a lifeguard or some type of medical staff on each boat, and then the kayakers. So like I said, you can have a kayaker with you. You don't have to have a kayaker with you unless you do it without the wetsuit. But then there are 20 to 30 other kayak support, volunteer kayak support that I staff out there, kind of patrolling the waters as well. And then the other thing that a lot of people don't realize until they do this event is the water's shallow. So you can do this entire event in water that is shallow enough to stand in. So
Wow.
it, I shouldn't say entire. There's one spot where it gets really creepy.
It is.
There's a I don't know, what do you call that? Like a shipping channel, or
Yes.
Mhm.
where there's a
Yep.
loading dock, and you go from 4 feet deep to I can't see anything. It's just deep, dark blue. It freaks me out, but it's about 100, maybe 200 yards, and then you're back into 4 feet of water.
Yeah.
Um, so uh, yeah, as far as safety, we have a lot of people out there, a lot of eyes, and the spectators as well. Like I said, there's so many people that are walking um, along that route that are keeping an eye on the swimmers. And sometimes they're more nervous than the swimmers are, and we hear about it, and we get some false alarms, but for the most part, there are eyes on everybody almost the entire time.
How many swimmers do you get? And you said there's no cutoff time, but I mean, can somebody just be in the water for 8 hours?
So we haven't had
Yeah.
a cutoff time yet. I've been asked by some of our staff to maybe start doing a cutoff time, but if there is, it'll be 8 or 9 hours. Um, Sorry, what was the start of your question there, Hilary?
The start was how many people are registered for this event?
Um, so the first year we did this, we had like 200 show up, and
Yeah.
then it has grown to about 450. And that includes some of the
Wow.
kayakers. So we had, I want to say, 390 swimmers and 60 kayakers last year. And then at we cut it off at 400 swimmers is where the
Yes.
cutoff is. Yep.
Wow. That's a nice group. So how does everybody go out? Do they all go out together or do you stagger the start?
So we kind of stagger it. We go in groups of two. So we get everybody lined up. We'll have like the elite swimmers um, line up first, and then we will have them go in groups of two. We have people holding up signs with like what your basic paces are, like what you think you can do a mile in, or like your 100-yard pace.
Mhm.
Most people kind of know that. So they'll line up along the boardwalk there, and then once we start, it takes, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes to get everybody in
Hmm.
there. Um,
Nice.
yeah, and then we also offer a 7 mile route. So the 8.2 mile route is really all about the uh, the the length of the perimeter of the island. If Once you go to Mackinac Island, you'll understand there's 8.2 stickers everywhere. So, but we can't swim across the harbor, so we can't get that full 8.2 without doing a little bit of a loop. So we start at the end of that boardwalk there and kind of loop back towards the harbor to get the full 8.2. But there is a 7 mile route if people want to just, hop in right at that start line and just get after it and go all the way around. So some people really want that 8.2, and some people go, well, 7 miles is already an ultra marathon swim. I think that's probably enough. So,
True.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Is there anything else that you want to share, either one of you, about? Yeah, Angie.
I have to tell you that not only that's the swimmers that come in, John has so many partnerships with so many people downstate and other places that come to volunteer for this. You know, we have maybe 70 kayakers. We have the checkpoints. We have John's mom is the amazing volunteer coordinator. I get to work with all the partnerships of the local businesses and places that support us. But it's the partnerships and coming together, and this being our 5th year, it's kind of a big thing, you know. So we'll probably have a special T-shirt for that because someone that may have swam all 5 years, there might be
Mhm.
something special. So it's kind of an event that you come back to because it's a feel-good event. It not only helps you feel like you've accomplished what you wanted to accomplish, but you're also helping and connecting with people that you may only see once a year. Since you're coming from New York, you know, you don't come to Mackinac all the time. So once you come, it's kind of an addiction per se to come and just enjoy it. It's just a beautiful place to have an event. And we really appreciate John and all his staff and volunteers that come to help us.
Yeah, absolutely. And John, tell our listeners how they could register for this event, um,
Yeah,
where they
so
should stay, what's the deal?
so our registration for the Mackinac Island Swim starts on December 28th. And you can register just by going to our website, which is swimaroundmac.com. And that's swim around Mac, MAC. And there'll be a link right there to our sign up page. Um, right now we're actually still doing, I do a little bit of a holiday challenge where if you're on Strava at all and you join our group, you get entered into a raffle if you swim 8.2 miles between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we still got that going on. If anybody out there wants to jump in the pool or the ocean or wherever and get those 8.2 miles in the next, I don't know, we got another week. um, yeah.
Great, great. All right. Well, I want to thank you both so much for being on the show today, and for your amazing work in the community. So thank you for that. I am so psyched about the Mackinac Island Swim. I'll be out there this August. I hope you come join us and support the Mackinac Women's Club. That's an important group, and we'd love you guys to be there. So check out the website. It's Swim Around Mac.
Swim around Mac, MAC.
Terrific. And we look forward to seeing you out there.
Awesome.
Thank you, Hilary.
Thank you.